You got to tell me. I can't see anything. Yeah, like mine's is so black. That's weird. Now tell me if you can see me. Hey, Cindy, can you see me on YouTube? Wait a minute. I'm started, guys. I'm here, but something's going funky with my stuff. Let me see. Make sure my computer is, my Wi-Fi is on. I'm gonna restart it. Guys, if this, oh, she said some more. Say I see you. Okay, well, I don't know what's going on over here on Facebook. Like Facebook need to get it together. I'm gonna reload the Facebook one. Watch it kick me out. Hey, Alicia. So, guys, oh, wait a minute. I'm here. Connect streaming software. I didn't say I'm streaming. I said I'm on the thing. Huh? You call me? Wait a minute, guys. This is like weird. It's telling me to. I didn't say I'm streaming. I said I'm on my webcam. I'm just gonna shut Facebook down and do it because it's driving me. Hey guys, I'm gonna shut Facebook down because it say I'm streaming and I'm not. I'm just gonna go do it all. I mean, I gotta sit up and do the comments again. Hey Alicia, so guys, I'm in here really wrapping up or working on some stuff for my event on Thursday and Friday. So I'm finishing something. I said, let me get in here and see what you guys had to say. And right now I'm finishing my, wait a minute, Facebook acting silly. I can't even put my stuff back in there. I'm finishing my module 2 of day 2, which is all about the pricing section, right? And I think it's pretty lengthy. I think it's nice. It got a lot without being too much. But I'm just gonna put the link in here because somebody's gonna ask for it once I'm talking. So wait a minute. See, Facebook not acting right. It keeps saying, oh, you wanna know what? I think it's because of my link. I'm sorry, YouTube guys. Let me just put this in here. planningtoprofit.com/2-day draping seminar. Done. I know y'all like, where this girl been at? But guys, I've been doing this, like wrapping, really like working on this, like finishing it, as well as you guys know we had a new shipment come in. So I kind of wanted to, you could reach more people by adding the title. Just chime in. All right, there we go. My face ain't even in there. Okay, there we go. So I've been kind of finishing this, working on this. I was there only for halftime anyway. Oh, you talking about the game? He over there screaming about it. Yeah, damn. What's going on? So I was over here finishing up this, and I said, let me kind of come in here and talk about some of these things. For one, I'm working on. I'm kind of finishing up things right now, but I wanted to like get some questions from you guys. If y'all had any pressing questions, right? If y'all had any questions as it relates to pricing, since it's such a big issue. Wait a minute, Keisha and Kim, what are y'all talking about? So guys, give me some questions. So I'm only going to be here on a little bit because I want to get out of here. I want to wrap this up because tomorrow I got to come right back in here. So tomorrow, for the next 3 days, I just don't know what time it's going to be. It's going to be a couple trainings I'm actually doing because Thursday and Friday I'll be at the event. So I really won't be able to be on live like I normally would be. But a lot of the content that I'm actually teaching at the seminar, I'm going to be doing some trainings this week just because everybody ain't gonna be there, right? Everybody ain't gonna be there. What y'all been doing? What y'all been doing while y'all was watching the game? If y'all was watching the game, what was in your cup? Let me see. I need to see Keisha and Kim. But guys, guess who I saw today? I saw wait a minute, Portia, I'm sorry. I saw Kimberly, easy peasy. They came here in Atlanta. She handled some business here in Atlanta, and we were able to have an amazing brunch. Yes, good question. Wait a minute, Sunshine, ain't you gonna be there? You don't ask me no questions because you already got the ticket. You're gonna get the whole shebang. So when I'm finishing up right now is actually, wait a minute, why my face not in this thing? Is it? What I'm finishing right now is Facebook acting crazy. What I'm finishing right now is the whole pricing, which is module 2. So I'm gonna tell you guys what I got, right? Maybe it will help you. I'm gonna tell you what I'm teaching on. Maybe it's gonna kind of help you come up with some questions, because that's what I want. I really want you guys to give me some questions. So I can make sure one that is definitely in my presentation, because this also gonna be added into our book, well, my book rather. But I want to make sure I'm answering them questions. So let me see. I'm gonna tell you what I got. And it's pretty much realistically, this was a lot of the questions that we talk about in the group, right? A lot of you guys, that's all you talk about, and have a lot of issues around pricing. And it's not as easy as you guys think. Y'all can't just go around here slapping these prices onto these backdrops like, boom, so-and-so charge $400, whatever the case may be. That's what I'm gonna go with. You really, really, really cannot, which is why I really don't talk about pricing as it's just like a random topic, because it's a lot that goes into pricing. What I charge, somebody else may not charge. And I totally get it, because guess what? My business is set up for me. My business is set up ultimately for where my destination is going to end, right? So it's not as easy as pricing a product. Pricing a product, yeah, you can just come up with the formula, cost of goods, your makeup, or your markup, whatever, blah, 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 there's your price. This is different. This is a service. You can't tell me how much I should charge or how much I'm worth where I'm spending my time setting up a backdrop. That's my time. What I charge for an hour, you may not charge. And so one of the things that I break down in a seminar, right, was the actual how I got started, right? How I got started and coming up with my pricing. And what I was charging back then, I'm nowhere near charged that right now. And even consultations, I think I was charging like $25 just for a consultation. You can't even get me at a table today for $25, because I know mine is more valuable than that. So it's like, it's so different when you get into this draping. Everybody think, oh, it's just so random. It's not random, but just so charged by the foot. No, what I charge by the foot may not be what you charge by the foot, because mine may be premium and yours may be basic. So just because it's a backdrop, you cannot charge by the linear foot unless you have linear draping. It's a lot that goes into it, but really it's not a lot when you understand the concept behind pricing premium draping, right? It's not that deep as people think. But you can't just go around taking other people's prices and think it's going to work for you. It's a lot of different factors that go into it. So, Joyce, you had a tutorial how to price a 4-layer backdrop. And realistically, do I get into that? Let me see. I'm going to tell you guys what I'm covering. And the pricing, module 2 of the pricing is, one, you got to prepare mentally. Y'all know everything I talk about, it got some kind of mental, fragment in there, because there's no sense in, if you're not prepared to tell somebody that, yeah, that costs $12.50. My price is $12.50. If you mentally can't even get your head around that that's what you deserve, it's not going to come out right. You're like, oh yeah, that'll be $12.50. I ain't buying that, because you're not confident enough. If you ain't confident in your own service, it's like, how are you going to get me to buy it? So at the end of the day, mentally, you got to be mentally prepared. So that's lesson number 1. How to prepare for a higher income bracket. How I know? How I know? Because since I've been in it, it's just been nonstop, going this way, nonstop. And it took a lot of adjusting. I had a broke mindset. I did. Why? Because I really, unless it was, a regular paycheck, I didn't know where the money was coming from, right? So I had that mindset of, well, I'm gonna hold on to this because we ain't gonna have to worry about X, Y, and Z as long as I had it. Realistically, in this arena, you can't think like that. You can't, not if you're really trying to scale and you're really trying to grow. It does not work. That's a broke, poor mindset. And at the end of the day, if you keep holding on to what you have, that's all you're going to have. So I get a lot deeper into that, of course. And each lesson is followed up with an exercise. I really like the exercise pieces because it really helps you think and identify where you realistically are. You're probably lying to yourself. You're probably lying to yourself, tell yourself you're spending that coin when you know you're not. You know you're not. For one, a lot of you guys want to be in this class. And for whatever reason, I get it. I get it. But it's like you can't sit here and do the same thing to your business, because ultimately it's your business. Then you get mad when someone else do it, right? You get mad when someone else do it. So like, you are an example. You're a lead by an example. You sit here and you want this for your business. You have to feed your business. And guess what? Your business is going to feed you. You starve your business. Somebody tell me in the comments, your business is going to starve you at the end of the day. You get out what you put in. Let me see what y'all talking about in these comments. I didn't even share this to the group. Somebody share this to the group if you can. Hey, Portia, do you charge more depending on the type of linen the client wants? Absolutely. Absolutely. So realistically, it comes down to premium linen, premium options, things like that, right? So another thing that I get deeply into is the pricing tiers, right? If those that know me know kind of how I price. I like to keep things simple. I always do things either in 3s or in 4s. It's simple. I ain't got to think a lot about it. I'm not going to do a la carte because I don't want to think about it. But what I'm going to charge for a basic backdrop that has maybe all stretch just for draping, totally going to price different for something that has velvet and sequin. They're premium blends. So clearly I'm going to charge a premium price because the fabric costs more, right? It's not even necessarily about an out-of-pocket expense at that time. You are selling a feeling. You're selling an emotion. If I design a backdrop and it has really no premium fabric in it, it's going to be like, oh, that's cute. Okay, that's cool. But when I put my all in, I come up with all my blends. Most of you guys know I use 5 blends in almost all of my backdrops. I mix it with some cheap and some premium. And that's how they come out the way they come out. But at the end of the day, I am providing a premium product, a premium service. So then, yeah, I'm gonna smack a premium price on that all day long. So yeah, it is about knowing how to mix your blends and knowing where the value is with your blends. It doesn't have to be sequin. It doesn't have to be glitzy glam. It really doesn't. But a premium blend could just be your heavier, your velours, your velvets, things like that, right? It could be spandex. Spandex looks like a lot of you guys get spandex and stretch mixed up, well, the 2-way and the 4-way. Spandex is premium, baby. Stretch is just a cheaper version of spandex. Spandex it looks premium, it feels premium, it's more heavy, it costs more, and that's because it's a higher quality fabric. So then, yeah, if I'm using spandex versus stretch, then the backdrop definitely gonna cost more. Precious, how many yards of material should I purchase for a 10 by 10 backdrop to drape? So it's a good question, Karen. If you're going to drape, it depends if you're doing any kind of swagging, if you're doing layers, or if you're just doing perimeter. If you're doing just perimeter, I would use maybe 5, 6, because I normally like using full. I like designing full backdrop, so I probably would use 6. But it just depends on how much how much character is you actually giving the backdrop. I said this the other day, someone may be designing a 10 by 10, but just doing a regular 2 swag backdrop, right? They may only use 15 panels, which is why I came up with that. My last bundle is a lot cheaper because it doesn't have as much fabric. However, that sucker still look good. Still look good, right? Versus a premium backdrop where the one with the blue and white, the last one I created, it was more affordable, still looked great, but it was only 15 panels. It's $397 versus the one that's 21 panels. That's a premium backdrop, right? So of course it's going to cost $745, $697, something, because you're getting 21 panels, you're getting more premium fabric, and you're going to be able to develop. I keep saying develop. You're going to be able to design, because I was in my writing out lessons. You're going to be able to design a more premium result, right? And that you ultimately is going to demand more money and command more money because it looks like it. So somebody did, I post these backdrops in the groups all day. And they're like, ooh, they're not even backdrops I designed. They're backdrops that my students design, but it still provides premium look. Like, oh, I get questions all the time. Oh my God, how tall is that? And realistically, they're not that tall. I don't know who told you guys, because I know I ain't say it. I said prepare yourself if you want to drape higher at higher lengths. But 11, 12 feet, that is a good, decent height for a premium backdrop. When you get into the 15 and 16s, that's different. That's theatrical, that's staging, that's totally different. That's not a standard backdrop. You're not going to do a backdrop at no kind of event unless you're in something that has a vaulted and cathedral ceiling, right? So then, yeah, you're going to try and cover the space up a little more. But just regular standard draping, the normal, all of my classes, they never go over 12 feet because that I don't want people to get in their head. They have to sell at these heights in order to command and demand $1,500, $1,700. No, you don't. But when you're designing at 12, that still give you that, oh my goodness, because people got to look up. But you don't want them to look up so high where they didn't lost the daggone design. You got to realize we're humans. Like most of us on average is 6 feet, some of us even 4. So when you lose them with something that's 15 feet, it's like, wow, it's a little overpowering, right? So you got to learn how to balance out the room so you can still achieve that look with it just looking premium, just like that. So I hope that answers the question, Karen. Say again, Trina said, starves you. So guys, y'all gonna see me panning because over here I'm on Facebook and over here I am on YouTube. Okay, let me see. God dang it, y'all, I ain't got no glasses on. I gotta get a bigger screen. Hold on. What is this? Remind me of my little TikTok video. I ain't posted yet, but I did record it. She was like, what is that? Oh, I ain't gonna say it though. But it was funny. It was funny. I'm gonna post it soon. But so Alicia, what you saying, girl? Have a question. What do you suggest to be a minimum price for drapery? Good question, Keisha, but I ain't answering. You wanna know why? Because you already got a ticket. You're going to be at the seminar, and that is already in. That was my breakdown, right? So that is a part of, let me tell you. So that's a breakdown of, y'all know I do things in either 3s or 4s, right? So when it comes down to my backdrop pricing, my strategy, it's in 3 tiers for me. And that's just the simplest strategy, right? So basic, like first level, intermediate level, is just a range. I don't got to sit there and think about, oh, this person went 21 pounds. Oh, I got to put some, I don't do it that way no more. I did it that way. I taught it that way before because if I built out this spreadsheet and I helped you guys see why it costs so much, you wouldn't be in so much doubt, like people not getting paid thousands of dollars for a backdrop. Like, it's happening. I got the invoices to prove it. It's happening. So I did it that way because my goal was, if you could see and understand the mechanics and the elements, why it costs so much, now you can utter it out your mouth a lot simpler, as opposed to me just telling you, look, this is the package. You don't go below $500. Because I'll say just that. But so I got both ways. So I still teach it the long way, just because I feel like someone should understand how to price it. But when it comes to knowing exactly what you're doing, just package it. I have 3 different package levels, right? For my backdrops. It's going to be basic, deluxe, and premium. I teach the same thing in this seminar and help you understand what falls into what. So you guys that know, on day 1, I'm draping 3 different backdrops. And you will see and understand why backdrop 1 falls under basic, backdrop 2 falls under deluxe, backdrop 3 falls under premium. So as soon as you see something that's even remotely close to either one of these 3 designs, you should instantly know what range it falls in. Period. Don't sit there and second guess it. Oh, that's a swag. That's too swag. Nobody got time for all that, because by the time you're sitting over there trying to calculate it up, they done went to somebody else. I'm trying to tell you. You gotta get them, strike them out of honest hot, baby. So Keisha, you'll see all that. And that's pretty much what I worked on today, but just really, it was already done, but I was really in it. I could put this up on the presentation. You guys can actually understand it. Because I already had it before, but now it was just really simplifying. You guys know I like simplifying things. So I was like, okay, it's a couple of questions. I think I covered everything, but I said, let me come on here and go live and hear some of these questions. And if it's something that I feel like I missed, I'm still here. So I'm gonna put it in there. I'll put it in there. All right, let me see. Here's a question. What do you suggest? Oh, I just answered that. So Keisha, you gonna get that. I didn't buy VIP access. Alicia, what did you get, girl? Alicia, send me a message. I mean, if you want to upgrade at this point, you definitely can. Oh, no. You're not in person. I don't think you're in person. You are virtual. If I saw that right. But yeah, my in-person VIP slots are all gone. We had only 3 slots left for in-person, like general access. But live stream we got several live streams. It's unlimited. But the actual hands-on experience is almost full. VIP is definitely full. So Alicia, send me a message. How to price the full layer backdrop. So Joyce, you should have that tutorial. But I don't think the pricing was in there. It wasn't. It just was the actual doing the thing. So if you have, I think you have it. If you have the VIP virtual program, go back to module 5. I mean, that's like the breakdown of showing you exactly how to, right? Now, this way, the way I do it now, it's just simple. So that is the one that, I design and I teach all the time. That falls in the pre. So that is not below $12.50 all day. It should not be priced. I mean, give or take a couple dollars depending on your location, but that's a 4-figure backdrop all day. That's not an $800, $900. For one, it's a lot of work. And it's not just work when you're actually on site designing. It's the prep work that goes behind it. It's the breakdown. All that fabric, like I still, when I break down the backdrop, I still got the backdrop up in my house of the blue, white, and the royal prince theme that I designed a week ago, because I'm just not looking forward to taking it down. It's a lot of work, but yeah, all day. That's a $1,250 backdrop. As we build our business, each new project will require some investment for panels. What is the right price and mindset while in this startup phase? Good question, Cheryl. So pretty much like I just said, you gotta, one thing that's why I try to get newbies in the beginning, because some of them think they gotta buy all this stuff. That's the furthest thing from the truth. That's not what you need to do or what you should do. But what I do recommend is definitely starting off with your professional stand, right? Professional stand, and just getting the panels that you know you're going to need. You're going to need white, almost impossible to not have white. You're going to need cream. You're going to need your basic colors. I even did a video on this. But when it comes to, I know it's going to look gorgeous. I know people going to throw sales like me. I do it all the time. But I be telling you guys, like, when y'all really reach out to me and I know you're new and you ask me these questions, like, I just want all of this. What should I start with? I'm like, realistically, no, that's not a good, wise investment. You at this point should be buying according to what's in demand, meaning what your clients or potential clients are requesting, or what you want to attract to your business. If you know you want to do weddings or baby showers, right? Clearly, that's going to fall under a pink theme or a blue theme. Stick with what you know that you can pitch and what you know you can design. Don't go out there and be like, oh, I want to do a Hindu. Don't do that yet. I know it's pretty and you want to, but start with the basics, because that's stuff that's going to be repetitive. People always have babies. And a lot of times they trending like the same. You'll see the same design over and over and over and over. So all you gotta do is throw a swag this way, throw a swag that way. Then the next time throw it in the middle, but you can still use the same panels over and over and over. So I really do not recommend people jumping out there in the beginning, getting like all of this stuff, because are you making any money yet? Not talking about you. I'm just saying in general. Don't do that until you'll start reaping the benefits of your investments, right? And if you're not reaping the benefits of your investments, you're making the wrong investments. So you got to realize, where is your business making money? There's a whole lot of things I want to do in my business, right? And there's a lot of things I want to do in other businesses. But right now, it's certain things I have that's popping that's where I got to stay, right? But right now, that's where I have to stay. So it would not be wise for me to go and create something brand new, and I got to put all this money back into a project when I got something over here that's working. All I got to do is tweak it, refine it, whatever I need to do, but it's working. So that's like my biggest recommendation for people that's just getting in. You need hardware, right? You need professional hardware. You need some sort of drapery panels. Then at the end of the day, you need the skill set. Like, invest in your skills, because that's everything. That's my 3-step framework. You have to master your skill set. You also got to work on mindset. You got to be prepared to go to this next level, because that's what it is. Ultimately, it's another level. So a lot of things is whatever you're used to, it's going to change, including your potential clientele, right? You're going to start attracting a different kind of client, and you can't show up scared, because guess what? Betty Lou over there ain't scared. So if Betty Lou and you in the room, Betty Lou gonna book her. So definitely mindset, mastery, and marketing. You have to know and not be afraid to put money in marketing. A lot of people don't understand what marketing is. They think it's the logo and the colors and the flyer. I don't care about all that. That ain't making you no money, but that is not making you no money. At the end of the day, you need to focus on how are you making people feel? How are you making them feel? How connected are they to your brand? What is your brand saying? Do they look at your website and be like, oh no, she playing? Or are they looking at your website like, oh, okay, she got a little something going on here, right? It's like perceived value. That's everything. That's the fruit and nuts of your business. And people sit there and put money in the wrong areas of business, thinking it's going to switch overnight, and it's not. That's why I really, that's a lot of time I don't get into pricing, because they don't understand the mechanics behind it. Like, mentally, you got to deal with some stuff, right? When I was first increasing my prices, and I increase my prices every year. And for one, I know I can because I invest in my business all the time. Like, you can look at what I was doing last year, nowhere near. I don't do none of that. I've done the work. I'm constantly always trying to learn and tweak and refine, always. So like, when someone see last year I had a class for maybe 700, this year it's 1,300. Yes, of course it's gonna be 1,300, because now I'm adding more value, and I have the confidence to ask for that price and demand that price. And if you don't have it, wait, what we talking about, boo? I work too hard. So it's like, you have to have that confidence behind knowing you deserve what you want. But what you want have to be what you want. It can't be, like I said earlier, you can't see, oh, Mary Lou is charging $400. Let me just make it $395. Why do you do that at? And they do it a lot. But that is not good strategy in pricing your services. It's totally not. All right. I hope that answers your question. As well as, I saw that one. I'm using your pricing guide in the virtual class as a guide. Cool. So Alicia, so no matter what period it is, you are attending this event, you already have your ticket. So use the pricing guide, but I recommend you to use that only because when I tell you and I teach you about the package side, now you'll understand it. You'll understand why this backdrop is $800 or why this backdrop is $1,250. So that's why it's like, it would be wise to marry the two, because even if I teach you packaging, and if you can't break it down why it costs that much, it's going to be a roadblock for you to say, oh, this is my prices. But now if you could do all the line items and see why it should cost that much, or somewhere in the ballpark figure, you'll be able to utter the price a lot easier. So definitely use that, Alicia, because it's like both of them together is really what helps you, helps you understand it a lot better. How much should we increase per layer when changing from 2 to 3 layers? Don't be mad. Don't be mad. I saw the tutorial, but can't remember how you broke it down. So a quick, easy breakdown. This is, now you're talking about the old pricing strategy, and the new pricing strategy kind of kicks all this out the box because it's just too much, right? So basic premium draping is linear foot or whatever it is. A lot of people do the dollar up, dollar over, which give you $100. Let's just say $100 for a 10 by 10. Would that I charge that? Absolutely not. But that's your base price. So when you go to another layer, it's not $100 because you don't have the hardware. You're only adding fabric. So then you would bring it down to 75. So it becomes 175. So Mariah, for you, this should now be starting to sound familiar. Someone else that haven't heard the breakdown, probably like, what is she talking about? But pretty much with you, when I was doing it the old way, I'm just discounting per layer on the same old pricing strategy, but you're not doubling the hardware. You're only doubling the drape, which is why it would be discounted that way. So I hope that rung a bell. Where do I go to buy drapes? Priscilla, you come to the Posh Academy, girl. somebody put our shop up there. So you come to the Posh Academy. They may let me put it up there. Let me see. Oh, they let me put it up there. So that is for the blends we carry. So at first I only carried the 5 blends because they're the 5 that I drape with. But now, we had added 2 other blends, and I'm actually now putting in another order. One other blend I want to kind of play with, but I'm not going to get a lot because I got to play with it first, so I don't know. But now that we're going into spring, the backdrops you're going to see now it's going to be different. So it's going to be different because I'm using a lot of like airy, a lot of sheers and translucents, and I'm using premium sheer, not the just sheer that gets wrinkled, right? So I'm using premium sheer because y'all know I don't like awning and steaming, and I ain't got time for all that. So I'm using some premium shears. But going into the spring, going into Easter, it just fits the vibe, right? When I was looking at, now that all of my fabric is here at the warehouse, when I was like going down, I said, no, this is not. Now I'm thinking seasonal, right? So now we're going to be swapping things out according to the season. Because I'm like, this is a little too heavy to be rolling in Easter or something like that. So a lot of the blends that we have now that I'm bringing in now are going to be a lot lighter. I hope that helped. Kimberly, pricing 1, premium room draping, 2 backdrop per layer, 1, 2, 3. How you charge by fabric layer, adding other props. Keisha, Kimberly, all that's in the tutorial, and you should have that. So everything you just named is in that pricing tutorial. And realistically, just being honest, I don't price. I just told you I don't price that way no more. It's too much. Nobody got time to sit here and put out all these line items. If you package it and you package it right, I don't care what they ask for, you should be able to quote them a price or give them at least an estimate. Some people just want an estimate, right? Just to kind of know. And this is mainly if you're not putting your prices on your website. But if you are, they should know. Normally, people that put their prices on their website have packages available for people to see. And choose from what they want. But if that's not the case, and you have those how much you charge kind of people in your DMs, if you're comfortable giving them a ballpark figure, then you should instantly know what they're asking for and have a price range, right? One thing for certain, even today, I still give approximates because I ain't got time to sit up there and try to get you on the phone. I don't got time for all that. I always ask the question, this is the starting price. Is that something in your budget? Or I'll ask them, is there a budget you would like me to consider? A lot of people, I don't really ask that too much because a lot of people don't know. So it's kind of like you're setting yourself up for a long conversation. So I'll just give them, and it just kind of that's the process right away. Like they can afford it or they can't. And I'm not gonna get into the we could customize. I just not. Some people still do. I don't, because I'm telling you, if my backdrops start at $1,000 and the work I produce is either you can afford it or you can't. And if you can afford it, we're going to talk further. If you can't, then you know that this is where pretty much the conversation is over. However, even if you can afford $800, you can afford $1,000. So it's like that big gap would be someone that maybe they was coming with $400. It's like, can't do it. But normally when somebody that's kind of can afford what you got, they may just don't see the value right away. Then it's your job as a service provider to let them realize why they need you. Like, you need this. You ain't gonna get this nowhere else. So pricing is just tricky, but some people just don't know how to price, and they think, really not even about price. They just really don't know how to sell the service. Sometimes people can't afford you. It's just they didn't see the value in what you're bringing, right? And or you didn't do a good job in helping them see the value in what you were bringing. Oh, y'all on here tonight. I hear that. I love it. All right, let me see. Daphne, we need a conference here in Atlanta to teach all the designers how to charge. It is not $12 per foot. It's not. It's but people are saying that in the groups. That's why when I get tagged in those comments, and I don't really comment because I realistically know if mentally they are at a place and they think that that's the standard, it ain't nothing I can say. That's what they think. And I just ain't got time to get in the debate. I don't. Meantime, I'm gonna be over here clocking these $1,000 backdrops because realistically, I know that's what someone is willing to pay. And I know that I ain't charging no less. So a conference sound amazing. My conference is Friday and Thursday and Friday, and I'm covering all that. It's my whole three-step framework to killing it in this industry because you can. This is a $1 billion industry, and a lot of people think it is just come around, and it hasn't. It's just we made it prominent in our industry, right? We made it prominent amongst our culture. So it's been around, and people been spending buku money when it comes to this draping because that's just. Look at what you're selling. You're selling a transformation. So you know it can get watered down and it can be damaging when you got people running around doing these cheap classes and these cheap backdrops. But at the end of the day, when you stand truth to know what you have, don't waver. I ain't wavering. I ain't doing it. So at the end of the day, it's going to take that, right? It's going to take that camaraderie and take people to really uphold what it's supposed to be. But if people are teaching the wrong things, because that's what's happening, people are learning the wrong elements. So it's just passed on class after class after class. And then you see these flyers up. There's a class here for $400. I get it. But baby, baby, at the end of the day, it can hurt the industry. But just stay true. Stay true to what you provide. The party rental spots are charging that $12 square foot. It's up to us to differentiate ourselves from those basic, right? So sure, you just hit the nail on the head, baby. See, I like these kind of conversations. We can talk tonight. So at the end of the day, you don't hear me talk about pipe and drape. I talk about premium draping. It's a big difference. You ain't going to hire me just to do no perimeter draping. I'm not doing it because at the end of the day, that's going to hurt my brand. I don't want to go do a job and I just did some drapes around. I'm not doing that. I do premium draping that requires premium skills and commands increased prices. So at the end of the day, you are so right, Cheryl. It is about you got to know your UVP. You got to know what is unique about you. I know what's unique about the Porsche Academy, right? And I ain't gonna. I'm trying not to be a body mouth tonight, but that's what I eat, sleep, breathe. Right. So it's like, no, it's when someone sees what I do, I make sure I'm using the same words that come out of my mouth all the time. Premium draping at the end of the day. Don't come to me with a standard backdrop. It's not even worth my time. Right. So that's so super true, Cheryl. Thank you, Sunshine. Nothing cheap that you do, I would say, inexpensive. Yeah, but so that's again, so I'm teaching that too. The whole thing about having something. But it depends because I'm an educator, I'm an influencer. But when it comes to services, even my packages, when I'm providing services, they still are premium prices. But I do have a basic package, right? Somebody else basic package may be $500 less. But at the end of the day, if somebody come to me and question, well, hey, and I asked this question in the training session the other day. Somebody come to me and say, hey, well, Sheila she doing the same thing down the road, and hers is $500 less. Baby, the conversation in there, because at the end of the day, you should even feel like you can even ask me that question. You see the value, right? You see what I'm bringing. And not only that, I'm all over this draping thing. So it ain't about just coming and doing the setup or even doing the class. It's not about just teaching you the class. Now I know how prominent it is and how important it is to teach you the other aspects behind it. I don't want to teach you. I'm not doing that anymore because I'm like, it's disheartening when you sit there and and I give my all in these classes. Any of my students on this live, y'all can just give me some hearts. I appreciate it. Thank you. I give my all in these classes. And some people, they take away from the class. They're like excited, but then they get back and they fall back into that same old rhyme and rhythm of not doing nothing with it, right? And I'm like, I don't want to do that no more. So at the end of the day, is mentally you go back into a funk because mentally you're at a place where you don't think nobody gonna pay you, but I just told you you can get paid. So like, oh, I gotta do a little more work now. I gotta work on your mind a little bit. Which is how that's why this all y'all heard me talking about. Am I about to go on tour? Yeah, but y'all didn't hear me really talking about that. Y'all hear me talking about this 2-day seminar because this is the solution. This is the solution. Everybody talking about, I don't know how to price it. I don't know how to market. Y'all still talking about marketing issues. We just did a training last week and we still talking about where's my ideal client. So I'm like, okay, I need to really focus more because I could do mastery all day. I could teach you how to master the skill set of draping all day in one day. But now I also got to work on the other aspects and telling you and teaching you how to market this thing, right? How you're going to get paid when I just told you you can get paid. So that's why to me, this seminar is like near and dear to my heart because it's just like my hybrid program. Everybody keep trying to get me back into coaching, and I'm just like, no, I'm not. I can't do it because that is, y'all know I don't want to do services no more. I transitioned into a product-based business because I can't leverage my time like that. I can't tie my time to something and it's tied up because I'm coaching. I don't want to do that. I want to really have my time free. I just deal with some products and ship out the products. And I want to have masterminds, I can, and things like that, right? Until I really, really get this thing where I want it to be. And starting an e-com site and really running a whole store, I ain't never do that. So it's like it takes a lot out of you. So I want to be able to devote mentally, physically, everything that's going to require from me this year. And I know it's going to require a lot. So this is my way of not just teaching the skill set of draping, but now, teaching you how to pitch it. Somebody asks you what you do, you know exactly what you do. You know exactly what you do. You know exactly how much you charge. You ain't got to sit home and write it down like, oh my God, she wants 2 swags and she wants some tie bags and she wants a frame and then she wants some balloon. Like, package that thing up so you already know if you wanna entertain it or not. If in your head that's like, oh, that's a $300 package, that's not gonna help me really reach my goals this week. Why are you doing it? Just pass it on to somebody else. But if that's like, and that's why we talked about focus products and to talk about your high tier items, like that's all you should be talking about. Y'all don't hear me talking about no $97 classes. I got them. So thank you, Sunshine. So yeah, I do have things that are inexpensive because I want to be able to service everyone. But you don't hear me talking about it. You hear me talking about my tours. You hear me talking about master classes because they're my higher ticket items. They're the things that it don't require me to work as hard as sitting here pitching a $97 class. $97 class is for me. For some people it works, but for me, it's not going to help me get to the 7 figures I plan on getting to this year. However, doing my tours and things like that and coaching and running these masterminds, it will. And running this e-com site, it will. So I have to stay true to what I know going to ultimately help me reach my goals and not waver. I can't do it this year. I can't. I just bought, wait a minute, the question. So Keisha, I can't answer the question for those that's not in the seminar because that's structured for the seminar. But what they can do is access a ticket for the seminar on live stream so they can get the entire breakdown along with the replay. That's just too detailed because it is day 2 runs into it. Everything runs into is concurrent. It's 5 different modules we're covering. First one is dealing with perspective, right? I just told you mentally, you got to be prepared to step into this next higher income bracket because at the end of the day, that's what it is, right? It's totally different lifestyle. Then after that, you got to get into your pricing, understanding the pricing. And that's the part that I was just wrapping up, which is why I thought, let me go ahead and get some questions because I want to make sure everything is in there, right? And I want to make sure it's simplified and not complicated. Then after that, you have to know your people, right? Where your people at? So all people that asked me last week, because that's what we've been talking about. How do I find my ideal client? How do I find my target market? I don't know if you guys don't know, but these are 2 totally different people, right? 2 totally different people. I don't talk to my target market too much. I talk to my ideal clients. Big difference. Do I jump on here and engage with my audience? Yes. But when I do my trainings, I do my YouTube memberships, they're my ideal clients. They're the ones that's more likely to take action. Everyone else, if I just do a random live, it's just I'm engaging with my audience. Big difference. Some people will get some things, some people won't. However, I'm real strategic when I'm talking to people that I know is taking action and really, really, really want help. It's like they got my attention. It's just different. It's a different kind of energy. And then after the people is your pitch. Like, after going off do everything like pitch, you have to be able to pitch this thing and sell it in a way that it sounds sexy. You can't, nobody want to hear that. Well, you want to what? I've been doing this for 17 years. I just transform parties and make them look fat. Nobody want to hear that. It's like everybody do that. Everybody pitch sound the same when it sounds like that. It's like that. Man, make that thing sound sexy. And mine's simple. It's real simple. I'm Precious Stevens at the Posh Academy, and I make your draping look good. If you are in the industry, you're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. However, if you're not, I'm not trying to transform a hairstylist so they won't get it. But at the end of the day, that is going to be the opener. Like, oh, how you do that? Then I'm gonna get into everything else I do, and I'm gonna get into my modes and methods and how I take them from one stream to the next. A simple transformation, but I'm not going to give them a bunch of stuff. I only got 7 seconds for them to be like, oh yeah, that's interesting, girl. Tell me more. So that's what it is. Wait a minute. Y'all know I can't see. Oh, okay, Sunshine, you telling me that. I just bought Max 17-foot pipe and was planning to cut all my drape for 17. So should I reconsider that and plan for 12 or 14? No. So I mean, let me see if I understand this question, Cheryl. No. So if you have a 17-foot kit, then no, definitely. I mean, it's adjustable. It's going to be adjustable. But if your panel, it just depends on what your goal is, right? For me, I like draping and staging, right? So at first, when I first started, I was getting 8-foot panels. I know no better. Then I like slowly graduated to 10 feet, and I'm like, I'm still learning. I'm like, oh, these ain't long enough either. Then I eventually got to 12, and even after 12, I was buying 15 and then cutting them myself to whatever they was. I wasn't accurate. Some was 17, some was, I don't know. It was long enough. But realistically, where I found my sweet spot was 12. 12 was perfect. That was perfect for my classes. That was perfect if I got hired for a gig. That was perfect. The only time if I needed higher than that is if I was doing perimeter draping, which is why I tell people, this is only my recommendation though. When you're talking about backdrops, you don't need no 15 to 17-foot drapes. I keep saying that in the groups too. No, you don't. Unless you know you're going to be into staging, or you know you're going to be into like when you're doing the walkways or something like that. Or you're going to be in something where, like I said, the ceilings are cathedral and vaulted, then yeah, you would need high long drapes. But realistically, people that generally get long drapes is because they drape in stuff that's ugly. They drape in gems and where you got hide the walls. So yeah, or now a lot of places here, they like what are they like? Industrial looking spots, right? So a lot of these studios, they have like all this stuff. So people really try to cover that up. So then something like that, yeah, then you should be investing in longer drape. But if you know, you got to know your lane. If your lane is kids parties, nobody really should be draping no 12-foot, 13, 14-foot backdrop at a kids party. Because normally you got sweet tables and the balloon things. That is not really going up that high unless you're at a stairwell or you're coming down the staircase or something like that, right? You don't never pair a 12-foot backdrop with a treat table. It's too far apart. It's not going to mix. So I hope I answered that question. It really just depends on what it is that you're wanting to drape. So I know like when I'm home and I'm in my little makeshift studio, I have 18-foot ceilings in my home. So I want my drape to go all the way up or high as possible. So normally if I know I'm draping with something like that, black, white, whatever it is, I'm going to have them super long. But just for my backdrops, things I have in class, I normally cut them at maybe 13 just because. Sometimes Kayla sold my panels and they just be a little crooked. So we just want to make sure they at least 12 feet. So I hope that answers your question. But if your hardware is 17 feet and you think, you know, you ultimately going to get to those cultural kind of designs where like Mindy, you know, or like that culture, you know, they go super high. They do. And it looks amazing. So if that's your goal, then yeah, you should be investing in longer panels. At least you guys send me a message. I don't think I have that tag. I can't remember. I don't know. You guys send me a message, at least. Just make sure, because we sent all the emails out for all of the different levels. What was it? Was it Friday? So I want to definitely make sure you have your stuff. Wait a minute. Oh man, I think YouTube gonna turn my video off because of my music. Let me see if I have any questions. I think you are so right, Master. oh, oh yeah. Master the level you're at, then level up. Yeah, you're so right, Cheryl. That's true. I'm driving up Thursday for the Friday class. That's probably what it was. So, Alicia, real fast, is it just Friday only? Because I know it's some that's like doing only day one, then some that's only doing day two. So, just I want to make sure that I got yours tagged right. Will the book be available for the live stream attendees? Unfortunately, no. The book is only available for VIPs, Jennifer. Hey, I need to check the date. You're coming to Savannah. Miss Bounce, I sent you a message earlier, or you told me who you were. So Savannah it looked like the 15th of March, 3/15. I think sometimes, at least with me, I can give a price, but then I'm looking for the prettiness. Then I get lost in the pricing. I could get that, but Sunshine, I think after this training, you're gonna be good. Because even I don't care how much prettiness you add, when you get into packaging your backdrops, I think that's really what's going to help, because it's going to be in a range. So I don't care. It's just going to be a difference if you're adding balloons, or if you're adding a chair, or if it's 3 layers or 4 layers or something like that. Once you get into the habit of packaging and understanding what the backdrop encompass and what that price should fall in, it'll be so much easier. Trust me. So I can look at any backdrop, any person's backdrop, even some of these backdrops y'all think are just over the top. I sit there and look at. I was like, that's what 10 minutes do. It look amazing, but it's not $1,000 backdrop. I'm just looking at the amount of work that went into it, how much fabric is being used. I instantly can price how much it is, or how much it should be. Should I say how much it should be? Because I don't know how much people charge. I really don't. How much fabric do I need for perimeter draping on a 90-foot wall? So it depends on the blend, Lily. It depends on the blend, and it depends on the actual panel itself. Like some of our panels are double wide, and they are 118 inches wide, whereas those some of them are only 60 inches wide. So it just depends. And then it just depends on the density of it. Like, how full do you want it? Some people just want to cover a wall and don't have a lot of panels. Some people really want it to look full, which y'all know I always go for a full look. So if I'm using something like my poly, or I don't really use poly too much, but if I'm using like an opaque blend, I'm gonna use 9 times out of 10 1 per foot, or something as close to that as possible. It would never be over 1.5, a foot and a half. But if it's something like a sheer, and I don't really use sheer no more for perimeter draping unless it was requested, then it would be half of that amount, because they're super wide. Or not, they're double wide. I said super wide. Let me see. Definitely doing packages, and you should. It's so much easier. I'm trying to tell you. Yes, you do give your all. That's all I know, girl. Hey, Kim, the other Kim Jones. You make sure your students get it. I try. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't care what level. Well, I don't care if you advanced and you went to the top of school. Point is, you came to my doorstep, so I'm gonna treat you like you don't know nothing. And I'm gonna try and help you unlearn everything you learned that I feel is wrong, or just don't work for the way I drape. And even if you knew, never touched the drape, I'm gonna make sure you get it too. Is there a tutorial package for all the draping tutorials you offer? Someone asked me that question. Hey, Timona, yes, it is. So all the tutorials I have is in the VIP program, meaning as one program, it has not all of them, but it has 12. All of them together, I have about maybe 19 or 20. I think it's 19 or 21, something like that. But in this one, it's 12, and it's like mainly the 12 that's important. Some of them are kind of repetitive, or they're older tutorials, so I don't really put them there. But in that one, yes, it's on my website. It's actually on my main website. So it's 3 payments of $588, or it's 1 payment of $1597 for the entire program. Is there? Okay, I'll answer that one. I can't wait for the class. Hey, Karen. Hi, Precious. How do you price if installing perimeter draping for a boutique storefront? So it depends. Again, Latasha, I did a window I don't know, a few weeks ago, but that was still over $1,000. And to me, it was very basic. It was just 2 windows. So it just depends on if the panels are straight up and down. Normally, if you're doing straight up and down, that is that pricing model, that 12 to 17. I still don't do 12. I'm not. I just don't. I ain't doing it. I'm at least doing $17 per foot. So it just depends on like what you're using. But when it's just standard basic perimeter draping, that is like a standard. It really is. But that's just not something I do or I would entertain. So that's not something you would see me doing. Even that salon we did, I still had to jazz that up. I just couldn't make it like, plain. I don't know. It's just how I am. How do you price? Oh, I just answered that. Where do you sign up for the VIP? I hope I put this in there right. Let me see, because I don't know. I got so many different links and programs. I'm trying to tell you. I'm gonna put it down here. Let me see if another question. I look for that. I'm going to inbox to upgrade to include Thursday. Okay, yeah, I think wait a minute, Alicia, send me a message because you already have something. Absolutely, Natasha. That's why I'm here, girl. All right, so let me see. VIP. Drape and design. Then I want to see who over here before I sign off. I think that's it. Let me see. Nah, this may not be. Yeah, this is for the whole entire virtual program. And I got 2. No, that's the one option. This is the one for the 2 options. It's either 1 payment or 2 payments. I mean 3 payments. Y'all know I don't be trying to hurt people's pockets. I like options, y'all. I like giving people options. I do. But that's the 2. That's the 2. I don't know why I kind of thought this was Ramona. Because I saw that Mona. I thought that was Ramona. Hey, girl. So let me get over here and see what y'all saying on Facebook. Hey, Mary. What do you include in your packages, or what factors do you use to distinguish the difference on your package level? Hey, Portia. So for me, it's about the design itself. It's about the design, how intricate it is, and how many panels are involved. Because at the end of the day, that's where the work actually comes in, how much fabric you're using. Design techniques, if you realistically know how to design or how to drape, that part is easy. That part's easy. It's really about how much work is actually involved. And the work comes from the amount of fabric. For me, that's for me. Because I don't care if I'm draping a triple panel, quadruple panel, the techniques is pretty much the same. I've been loving your TikToks. Thank you, girl. I hope that you like. I ain't almost there, but I had like some traction going on my TikToks, y'all. Thank y'all for those who've been liking and following and commenting. That's been fun. That has been fun. Hey, Nicole. So you guys have any other questions? Real quick, for anybody that kind of came on the replay, I'm gonna tell you what I'm covering in day 2. It's day 2, but only module 2. Now, mind you, day 2 is 5 different modules. But module 2 is pricing. So lesson 1 is how to prepare for the higher income bracket. Then that's all like mentally. So step 1 is making over your mindset about money, knowing your worth and your hourly wage, and really knowing how to calculate that. Then how to focus on high level clients. Like you have to stop talking to bargain basement Betty. You got to. You may not think that you're talking to her, but you are at the end of the day. That's why she keep coming to your business saying how much you charge. Then step 4 is establishing your value through effective repositioning. It's going to take, guys, I've been rebranding. I think I rebrand my business every year. Because every year I go to another level. And at the end of the day, another level, not only is going to call for more devils, but if I'm trying to attract something different, I have to switch things up a bit. I'm in a rebrand right now. So really, you have to reposition your business so you are able to attract those that you ultimately want to work with. And at the end of the day, they're the ones that don't got the money problems. Let's just face it, it is. Then on to level 2, we're talking about the simplest pricing formula. Now, this is the one where I go over the entire spreadsheet, the thing that I built maybe 2 years ago. I kind of changed some things up, but I go through that because I need you guys to understand why it costs as much as it costs. But that's the old way. I'm just teaching that formula just so you can know. and then you walk away with the same formula. Then lesson 3 is ways that you can charge for your services. It's not just one way to charge for your services. It's several different ways. And I'm talking about 3 different ways that you could charge for your services. And the last one is how to package. That's what I was just telling you guys about. That's the one for me. That's the most important one, because collectively, once we go through all of the previous trainings I just mentioned, when it comes to packaging, you're not going to have that look on your face like, huh? Once we go through everything else, you're like, oh, y'all know how the ones that be in class, y'all be like, oh my God, that's it. Y'all be like, that's all. I'm like, yeah, girl, that's all. You just needed me to teach you. But that's all I got, guys. So if you catch this on the replay, definitely. Like I said, VIP is sold out, but we do, I think it's three general admission tickets left, and it's always live stream, right? It's always live stream available. So definitely, I would love to see you guys in the building. Day 1 is mastery. That's where I am draping 3 different backdrops and going through the everything I go through in class. Is what I'm teaching on day 1. Then day 2 focus on mindset and marketing, right? Because at the end of the day, what's the point in learning premium draping if you don't know how to price that thing, boo? So let me help you. So that's all I got. I thank you guys for hanging out with me on Friday night. Did the game go off yet? Mr. Mo? Yes, ma'am. You asleep? No. Yeah, right. All right, guys. If you want me, you know exactly where to find me. And then those that's asking about the tour, y'all know we go on tour March the 14th all the way through March the 28th, hitting those 9 cities. And if you know, in June, we're going from June the 20th to February the 2nd. Those dates are up. And a good thing about the June classes, the payment plan is already incorporated. Payment plans are as low as $239. So this is a good time to get in, so you don't have to be hitting the head with the pricing, right? Thank you, Keisha. I'm gone, y'all. You guys know where to find me. And be what's tomorrow, Monday? Yeah, Valentine's Day. It's 12 o'clock. No. Oh yeah. All right, guys. I gotta go. I gotta get out of here. Love you all. What time is it though? 9:39. Oh, that's not bad.